I proceed?
Please proceed.
Uh, Hello,
Hi.
you're Charles Hayes. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Hi, doctor. Nice to meet
Uh, Hi, Charles. So, you had recently joined back after your vacations. Is that so? And I think we briefly met you before.
you. I'm not sure, but I didn't take any vacation.
Okay, so that must be my mistake. So I know you are in the surgery department, right? Right now.
Yeah,
And how is your rotation?
yeah, it's fine.
So how are the things in life?
Yeah, it's going. It's fine.
Okay. Charles, the reason I actually wanted to speak you is regarding something. Uh, like yesterday when we were taking rounds, uh, I smelled alcohol, and I was wondering whether it was coming from you. By
I,
any chance,
I'm not
uh,
sure if we're together. I don't know, you
uh,
might.
you were in the surgery ward yesterday, right?
Yeah, I am, but I'm not sure if I had rounds with you.
Okay. But I was there with you, if I'm not wrong. And even that time, there was a smell of alcohol, and I was wondering it was coming from you. By any chance, are you taking any alcohol?
I mean, that's outrageous, doctor. I mean, why would you just come and talk to me about this all of a sudden?
Uh, um, well, Charles, I'm really sorry if I had given you such an impression regarding this. But please, the thing is that it is not just me. The nurses were also complaining uh, about the smell of the alcohol. So I want to check on you whether everything is fine with you. That's why I arranged a meeting today.
Well, I mean, I do go out drinking with my friends.
Okay. So, by any chance, have you come to the work after drinking?
I mean, yeah, sometimes I need it when I wake up. So, yeah, I can't do without it. But it's okay. I managed to do everything. I'm all right.
Oh, well, Charles. Okay. So, can you tell me, like, are you taking any alcohol while during the afternoon break or anything like that?
I mean, doctor, I just need it when I get up. I mean, I just need it when to function in the morning.
Okay. So, can you tell me, like, how long are you taking this alcohol?
It's been a while, but wh why are we having this conversation?
I, well,
I
Charles, Charles, I can really understand why are you asking me this, but I really want to check on you, like everything is fine, because there are some problems related to the alcohol. Okay, because alcohol you mentioned to me like you are taking alcohol in the morning. So you're coming to work after having this alcohol. And this alcohol can sometimes cause certain problems, like it can affect our clinical judgment. Okay. And it can, by that way, we can mistake these, and it can affect the safety of the people, like safety of the patients. Are you able to follow what I'm trying to say? So it is, uh,
having a
and
conversation. I mean, are you going to talk to the seniors? Are you going to tell my consultant about this?
well, Charles, first of all, we are doctors, and our profession is a regulated profession. And smelling alcohol is not something a good medical practice, and it's like the patient. It can affect the patient safety as well as what the patient thinks about us. Like it is like the patient may consider us like we are not having any dignity or integrity, and it can affect the relationship with the patient. So you were asking me whether I am going to tell to the consultant. But as your colleague, I really want to make everything fine in this working place. So and it's so I decided like it's better to tell to the consultant regarding this. Okay,
Yeah, I rather
it's
not,
better
doctor.
if you talk to the consultant regarding this.
But I rather not, doctor. I mean, I haven't put anybody at risk. I've been very diligent about what I do. I don't
At
want
this yes, Charles, I can really understand. Like at this moment, you may not have not put anybody in the risk. But if you're continue like this, it can in future affect the patients because you are having this alcohol, and after some time it can become an addiction, and it can
once.
clearly
What will happen if the consultant finds out? Then what happens? What will happen to me?
okay. If the consultant finds out, it's better if you talk to the consultant first and tell him regarding this. They are very experienced people, so they will try to help you. They will share the experiences they had, like how they dealt with the such situations, and they will guide you in a proper way regarding this.
What is the next step going to be, doctor? I don't want to lose what I'm doing. I don't want to lose my license.
I can really see you are worried about this, but it is not like that you will lose your license. But it's if after like if you decided on quitting the alcohol, it can save you. Like it can save your career as well. You can speak to the doctors regarding this, the consultants regarding this. Okay, and there are many, as you know, there are many programs to quit the alcohol as well, and we can
Okay.
guide you in that way what all the things we can do. So can I talk to you regarding that?
Yes, I'd like to know.
Yes, first of all, there are certain medications available to reduce the cravings, such as acramposate, and also there are other medications which reduces the withdrawal symptoms.
Move on to the next station.
Thank you so much. So, this is a colleague consultation,
Okay,
and must have deduced that, of course, as soon as you understood the case. One thing I'd
yeah,
advise you, don't try making up information. Like, if
okay,
it's there, I mean, how
okay,
did you out the rounds and all that? It was not there
okay,
written in the question. Like, why did you mention that? I mean, if you don't mind me asking you,
okay, yeah, I understood. Like, okay,
say that you had rounds with me.
okay,
What
that was
evidence was?
wrong. Yeah,
No,
no
but
evidence.
I mean, seriously, if something has not happened, if you try making it up, you don't know what direction it will go to. Maybe you might have read the case somewhere, a different version
Yeah,
of the case somewhere,
yeah,
but
yes.
always the case, right? That
Okay,
way, trying to make it something that it might not be. So that's where
okay,
very dangerous water to head into. Like
okay,
whatever information has been given to you, you will have the candidate information with you all the time. So whatever
yeah,
information is given to you, you can only use that. Like that's the
okay,
you have, right? All right.
okay,
Our examiner will give you more detailed feedback. All right. But good job.
okay,
And
okay, thank you. Hi.
That was really good, but I think you kind of missed the point of the consultation. That's actually a really important thing I wanted to talk about. Uh,
Okay,
let's just see, I'll just load the results for this.
okay,
So, okay, so let's start with the candidate view. So first, this is the information that's provided to you, right? So
yes.
is what is your strategy in the first 1 minute 30 seconds? What do you usually do when you're reading the question?
I tried to like think what all the questions they are going to ask me, like how it will progress.
Okay, that's good. But I'll tell you a easier trick to
Yeah.
spend this minute 30 seconds in. So what you can do is first think about the demographics of the patient who you are talking to, which
Okay.
is it who is it? Is it a doctor? Is it a patient? Is it a male, female? Is it a young patient? Is it an elderly patient? All these
Okay.
things deduced just from the name and just from the given information, right? So that is one
Okay.
thing you need to know, because
Mm-hmm.
that's when you know how to introduce yourself. That's how you have to start. And then the next thing is, what is your task? So what do you think task was here?
Okay.
No, no. What did you? I mean, like, what did you think your main task was when you read the question first?
I thought the task was to like talk to him regarding this alcohol, drinking of alcohol, and
As in-
uh, and discuss the issue, what all things it can cause, what all the ways it will be affected.
Okay, so that's very good, but the thing is, if you read the question properly, there is you notice it's very good that you picked up the alcohol issue here,
Yeah.
but you notice what is the alcohol issue? Someone has smelled alcohol on
Smelt.
him,
Yeah.
right? So that is
Yeah.
one problem, but there's more things behind after that. So there's also been,
Clumsy. Late for
right?
work. Oh,
So
yeah.
that's all. And patients notice clumsiness. Patients
Clumsiness.
will also notice it, right? So
Okay.
so so always go in a systematic way like this. See who the
Okay.
patient is. What is your task? What are you supposed to do? So
Mm-hmm.
when you ask, what are you supposed to convey to them, and
Hello.
what are so initially you find out who you're talking to, and then immediately your task would be, what are the key themes that you have to deliver in your task. So here
Okay.
there's always multiple things in the question. Okay, there's never a
Mm.
single thing. They'll always try to and you'll find more things once you start the consultation as well. So always
Okay.
try to deduce these key themes before you enter itself. That will give you much more clarity before you enter. So once you
Okay.
enter, it'll ultimately become just talking to the patient, right? So you don't really have much time to think once you enter. So always
Yeah.
try this 1 minute 30 seconds really well. So now you notice there's three problems. There's alcohol, there's coming late for work, and notice clumsiness. If you notice
Yes.
of these three problems, there's only one problem you can tell him that he definitely did wrong. Which one is that? That you're sure that it is true. That is
Like,
right. That's the only thing you
yeah.
have of. That's the only thing you have evidence of, right? That is coming
Yeah.
late. Other than that, smelling alcohol is just a opinion of somebody else has told you that you're
Okay.
not sure whether it's actually true or not. Patients
Yeah.
notice clumsiness also, you're not sure yet.
Okay.
The thing that you can start with is that he's coming late to work.
Late
So
for
you
the work.
so always try to think what is so whenever you've been told something about there's always gonna be times in your career where you will hear rumors about your subordinates. They will come and talk to you about your subordinates. Always try to think what is true, what you have evidence of before you confront them, right? You can't directly
Okay.
say, yeah, I smelled alcohol on you. That is not even true. And
Yeah.
when the candidate is the simulator is trying to tell you also, saying, I didn't have rounds with you. So
Okay.
they'll always give you hints like that, saying that not basically. So you just have to ask him. So you notice three problems are there. If you ask all three at once, he won't know what to tell you, right?
Okay.
Even if you think about it, if somebody comes and tells you three things at once, you don't know which one to respond to, especially a sensitive thing like this, right? So always
Okay.
there's a method called chunk and check. So you can
Okay.
always so any big problem you have, you should always make it into smaller chunks. So you
Okay.
always pick the smallest problem here, which is coming late to work, which is very explainable. A lot of people do it. So it's very easy for him to explain himself why he came late to work. So you always start
Okay.
with, so you say that, okay, you have evidence for that. So just say, okay, I noticed that you come late to work. Is there any
Okay.
reason, anything going on? They say something, and then you start off with, okay, I also heard some other thing. I just want to confirm it from you before I even do anything. And then you ask that. And then if they don't agree, and then you somehow, press him a little and see if they admit, then you can go on into the alcohol thing. Without that, you don't really have anything to go on, right?
Okay.
Okay. This is something very important I wanted to bring up. But let's just quickly go through. So this is the OSCE Workbench. I hope you've had a chance to look at it also, because you have the
Yeah.
access.
Yeah.
Very good. What you can do is, if you notice the in-time guide here,
Mm-hmm.
so you go through the whole thing and see what are the main points to cover. But I'll just go through the checklist directly with you. This is much easier to for you to understand, because the ones you've covered are the ones already covered.
Okay.
So go through the ones that you missed. So data gathering wise, make sure you never mentioned. So always You started off well. You built rapport, but you directly jump into the point. Before that, you bring up saying, "Do you have any idea what I asked you here about? Do
Yeah.
you get it out of them?" And if they're not willing, always offer confidentiality, because
Okay.
you're not trying to shame him publicly or anything like that. You're trying to talk to them confidentially, but you have to mention that you will have to inform people. It's not like a full confidentiality. It's just that only necessary individuals like seniors will have to be informed. It's only because of patient safety concern. Other than that, there's no personal problem against you. So you can start off like that. Then you can bring in the question. So other main thing. So you went on with alcohol. Your main you
Age.
but you missed the main thing. So how do you even mentioned the word addiction, which is a very bad word to mention in the first place.
Okay.
So always try to keep that very low in your vocabulary, because a person who has a problem, it's called dependence. That's
Yeah.
what we use in technical terms, right? And
Yeah.
since it's you are talking to, you should not you should not be using a term like
Word
addiction,
add.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
If it's a patient, you should say something like you have alcohol problem or something like that. But you should never use these words. And more than that, before you even use this word, how are you saying that he has an addiction? That's why we have
Okay.
this question, which is case questionnaire,
Yeah.
which is, have you tried cutting down on drinking? Have you ever felt annoyed when someone mentions that you have a problem? Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel that you need to drink alcohol as soon as you wake up in the morning? Just quickly ask these three questions, and then that's it. Your data gathering about the alcohol is done. You don't really have to ask anything else. If you don't find any problem in these questions, in the case questions, then you don't really have a leg to stand on. You can't really tell him that he has a problem, right?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a problem. If case questionnaire is negative, then you can't really tell him that he has a problem, right? The only problem that you said is that nurses have noticed it. That you have to ask him only. If he says no, he can't really do anything, that they've noticed alcohol smell on you. But they won't do that. They won't outrightly deny. They will admit to it. They'll
Okay.
they admit to it, and then you bring up the thing, saying, okay, is there any reason that you're drinking? Is there
Mm-hmm.
have you tried stopping?
Okay.
Before saying that, we have support services, you ask him first, have you tried stopping? Have you tried? So before that, you ask him, you quantify how much he's drinking as well, because that's also
Mm-hmm.
important. Because you know that he's smelling of alcohol, that's you just heard of it, but what is the actual problem behind it? Uh, is he actually having a lot of alcohol throughout the day, or is he actually just drinking in the night? Each thing is different, like each thing will have different consequences, right? If he's
Okay.
ultimate if he's not coming to work under the influence, it's not really a problem, right?
Hmm.
But only when he is coming to work under the influence, that's when you have to escalate the issue higher. As of now, you have to escalate anyway, because there is a
Okay.
complaint, and you have to escalate only till your consultant. So whenever
Okay.
you're thinking of escalation, never think about all the way till GMC, because no
Okay.
matter how big the problem is, they won't expect you to do that. You always have
Okay.
to go to a senior or go to your consultant. They will tell you the further steps, right?
Okay.
So always just say, I'll just have to talk to our consultant. Don't worry, they'll be very supportive. They won't try to do anything that is harmful to you or your career. They will just try to help and support you. You can say that. All right. That is data gap. Management wise, now you have all three concerns have to be mentioned. That is lateness, alcohol, and clumsiness.
Clumsiness. Okay.
And so when this patient clumsiness is coming and the alcohol smell is coming, it means that he's already at work. He's already seen some patients. He's
Yeah.
already done work on some patients. So that is something that you can't ignore, right?
Yeah.
So always make sure you ask, what have you done today?
When today.
So
Yeah.
patients have you seen? And always make sure you collect that data, that information, asking which all patients have you seen. Make sure he doesn't do any more work also from now on today. Because tell them
Okay.
that because at this point he's under the influence. So you just why don't you take the rest of the day off today, and we will talk to you. We will tell you about the next steps. But if you feel that you are under pressure and if you feel that you can't, you need someone to talk to, do not hesitate to call me or any of us, and we will come and talk to you. Please set up a follow up. See, even follow up not just for patients, even for colleagues, even for doctors, everyone, you have to always safety net, follow up, and leaflets and pamphlets. So educational materials, these three things have to be done in any case. So even here also you can tell them, I'll give you some educational materials about whether you have an alcohol problem or like to know more about any support systems, and I can I'll set up another we'll talk again. We'll set up a meeting again to talk about this, how you're feeling, and then the consultant will tell you the next steps. And then what is the safety netting here? So what do you think is the safety netting here? So
Withdrawal symptoms.
the patients are the safety netting here. So the
Okay.
patients the patients that he has seen today or he has dealt with today are the ones you have to safety net for, right? Because you've already spoken to him, you know that he has interacted with some patients. You just have to double check that work again. So you just have to get somebody else to either double check or you yourself go and double check those work to make sure that patients are not at risk. That is always the ultimate priority, right?
Okay.
Then, other than that, so let's just quickly go through in management. The points you missed are basically outline the possible outcomes. So when they ask you what would happen to me if you complain,
Okay.
always start with the good things that will happen. I know there's nothing good that will happen, but ultimately you can always start with they will give you as much support, they will reduce your workload, they'll try to help you as much as they can. But there is a
Okay.
chance that GMC needs to be informed because when a situation like this happens, it needs to be documented. But do not worry about that right now. Let's try to make yourself make you feel better from now on. Let's try to work on yourself or something like that. You always try to deviate with the good things first, right? In
Okay.
situations, especially when you're talking to colleagues, when you know that you are doing something, you're reporting them, right? You're reporting them, that's gonna hurt their career. But that is something that you have to do because it has happened, it has affected the patient's safety as well. So you don't really have a choice, but you always mention why you having to do this. It's not a vendetta against the person, right? It's just ultimately for the good of them as well. Then
Okay.
interpersonal skills wise, it was really good. But the main point about interpersonal skills here is that you made up things, right? That is something
Yeah.
that's your IPS. If you don't, if you try to, the simulators are trained in a certain way to do for that day.
Okay.
They can't go off script. When you say things
Okay.
like that'll throw them off as well. That'll really hurt your IPS because they will start becoming negative towards you because they'll
Okay.
think, yeah, you're saying some things, right? So that is something you have to be careful about. Always stick to the script. All the
Okay.
candidate info is given to you for a reason. That's the only information you have. Other than
Okay.
that, you can't do anything else, right? They will never give you give you inadequate information for the case that you need. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I think that's all from my side. Is there any doubts or anything that you want to ask?
If he's not at all willing to open up, like what all things we can say,
We
even
can't
after
really
confidentiality.
That's all right. Right now, you don't have any evidence. The only evidence you have is for him coming late. So that is
Okay.
something that we can't deny because that is something that's evidenced. So just talk about that. Why do you think you're coming late? Why
Okay.
is there any reason that's making you late? That will somehow link back to the other thing. He'll say that, yeah, I was out drinking till late last night. That's why I don't wake up in the morning. I usually so somehow move it towards that. They
Okay.
won't, they will intentionally, they won't try to mess with your entire consultation. They will also guide you to through the consultation. So they will also somehow take you through the consultation to the points that they want to say. It's just that you have to give them the chance. Like you just have to
Okay.
ask things, that's all.
Okay.
So don't worry, you did really well. I think it's just that you just need to know that these are the things that are possible.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I think you can go through
No, yeah, I will once again go through the like what all things I missed